In order to use the Zend framework, we first need to download it. Unlike other frameworks, Zend has a few options in how you can use it. Because you can optionally use Zend's pre-configured server, this can be a valid option, both the community, that is free edition, or the commercial edition. In this movie, we'll discuss the different options and where to find them. The main framework downloads can be found at the download URL on the main framework.zend.com site. On this page, you'll also see links to download the GData libraries, the InfoCard libraries for Microsoft, the AMF libraries to interact with Flash, the Simple Cloud library, and then you also have access to the archives to download older and different versions of the Zend framework. You can also download the server, which we'll talk about in a second. When you go to download the framework, you'll see you have options to download the full framework, which includes unit tests, demos, docs, as well as the Dojo toolkit. The minimal package is going to contain just the basic core library of the Zend framework. If you want to download the server, you can go to the Zend.com website, which is Zend Technologies' website, and on their downloads page, you will see links to download both the Zend server Community Edition, which is the free version, and the Zend commercial server includes a number of tools for profiling and handling caching and cluster management. We're going to use the framework only, so you can just download the framework file. The easiest way to do it is to simply download the zip file. It can either be a tar.gz file or a zip file, and extract it to your computer. Once this is complete, you can name it whatever you like. It will by default have the version number on it. If you wanted to just call it Zend Framework, that would be acceptable as well. You can then install this into your application/MAMP directory and then use it throughout your MAMP or wherever else you like on your hard drive. Just make sure to note where it is. Another way to download the framework is by using the Subversion tool. If you're using Mac OS X, Subversion will be installed with the Xcode suite. The first thing we want to do is we want to go into our MAMP directory. So I'm going to use the change directory command. For more information about using the command line in Mac OS X, you can check out the Unix for Mac OS X users course here in the lynda.com online training library. Now that I'm in the MAMP directory, I'm going to create a new directory called svn. I'm going to change into that directory, and I'm going to create one final directory where I'm actually going to place the download called Zend Framework. Finally, I'm going to change into that directory, and from this directory, I'm going to perform my Subversion checkout. So the way we do that is we use the command line svn checkout, and we point to the location of the Subversion trunk. In this case, it's http://framework.zend.com/svn/framework, the standard, and then the trunk. This will then download the full version of the Zend framework, including all the documentations in Spanish and English and a number of other languages, so it may take a while. Once you've completed downloading all of the Zend framework from Subversion, you're going to need to create an alias. The alias, we're going to use ZF for Zend Framework, and we're going to want to make sure to point it to the zf.sh in the bin directory of Zend Framework. This is located specifically in applications/mamp/svn/Zend Framework/trunk/bin zf.sh. Once you've set that up, you can test this out by typing in zf show version, and this should give you the version of the Zend framework that you're using. Keep in mind that if you're setting this up and you didn't download from Subversion, you don't need to refer to the trunk directories, as they won't exist outside of Subversion. The last thing to configure Zend Framework is to do some changes to the php.ini file. In MAMP, you can find this in the PHP directory in PHP 5.36 and in the conf or conf directory. Inside the php.ini file, you're going to look for the include path. This variable stores all the paths where PHP looks for PHP classes. We want to make sure to add the Zend Framework library to this path. Each of the paths is separated with a colon. You can see the first path is a dot, which means it's going to include the current directory of your PHP file. You notice we also have the PHP 5.3.6 library. Now we need to add our Zend Framework. And the framework specifically is located at applications/mamp in the svn directory /Zend Framework /trunk/library. Keep in mind that if you downloaded this, you're not going to have the svn directory, nor are you going to have the trunk. When you're done, you're going to want to make sure to restart your PHP server so that these changes will take effect. As you can see, we have a few choices as to how we can download and install the Zend Framework. We can download the framework to install on our own PHP server, either in a scaled-down minimal zip or with all the bells and whistles. Conversely, you can use Subversion and go to the repository directly. Either way, we'll want to add the library to our PHP include path and optionally prepare the Zend tool for some command line assistance getting started.